Right, so welcome to the next part of our series on playing over changes. Now, in this particular one, we've been looking at A minor going to F, and we've gone from playing a straight minor pentatonic through to minor pentatonic with a C scale, and then also thinking about how to play from an A minor pentatonic using the chord shape as a framework. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, I wish I'd seen the first episode first. Well, that's the thing to do, go back and have a look. But anyway, we're now on to the stage where we're saying, well, we could make our F into an F7th in some situations. Now, this all depends on the style, the arrangement, even what the vocalist might be doing. But okay. So the last time we looked at this, we said, well, we'll just use our passing note. So you're not allowed to do that yet. We'll talk about why you can do that in another video. But anyway, okay. So that's one way we could play over our F7th. Now, as ever, you know, if you're in a situation where you want to be inspired, and anybody who's been in musician for any amount of time, done any amount of gigs, will, in all honesty, say, well, you have gigs where you're inspired. In fact, I had a chat with a guy called Louis Stewart many years ago, who coincidentally, I lived in a bedsitter in a place called Woodside Park in Finchley back in the day. This was what it would be, I think, late 70s, I would say. And as luck would have it, there was a pub just round the corner, the name of which completely escapes me now, but I'm going to see if I can remember as we go along. Anyway, this is an interesting pub because it's actually where the Monty Python team filmed some of their scenes for some of their films. In particular, the all-time classic Scaling the North Face of Finchley High Road is filmed outside a shop called Tesco's, which is next door to that pub. There's another scene, I think most people my generation would know it as the Nod Nod Wink Wink sketch, and Eric Idle sat in a pub with Terry Jones having a rather seedy conversation, and that's in the pub. It's called the Torrington. There you go, I knew I'd remember it, the Torrington. And it's where Finchley High Road joins Lodge Lane, if I remember rightly. In the back room of the Torrington, it was also a venue, and I was lucky enough to see Ronnie Scott and his quintet playing there. Now, the reason it was a quintet that night was because he had a guy called Louis Stewart with him playing guitar, and he's a very famous jazz guitar player. In fact, it fascinates me how in my teenage years how many world-famous jazz guitar players I bumped into almost completely by accident, with the exception of Joe Pass, who I'd actually gone to see as such, but I didn't even know Louis Stewart was playing. However, the point of this whole conversation is that I had a chat with Louis Stewart, and I said to him, you know, when you're improvising, how much is theory and how much is inspiration? And he said, well, on a good night, it's 85% inspiration and 15% theory. And on a bad night, it's the opposite way around. So, good way of putting things. However, what I'm really getting at here is it's nice to have different ways of thinking of things, because these things won't always come to mind when you want them to, and they may not come to mind in the order you think they're going to either. So there are two things I'm going to say here. I think one of them will be in this video, one will be in the next section. So the first thing to say is, well, what if we put our other thinking to one side and we say, okay, so we're going to treat the A minor and the F7th as separate cases. Now, if we think of a 7th chord, we're thinking bluesy, we're thinking a combination of major and minor. So what I'm going to play here is A minor pentatonic going to F pentatonic. Now I say F pentatonic, let's say an F bluesy sound. A lot of people say blues scale. It's a combination of things is a blues, really. So just to call it a blues scale is a complete misnomer in my view. But anyway, okay, so A minor pentatonic. Okay, no big surprises there. Now we can hear there's a chord change. Okay, so you can hear there's going to be loads of stuff you can do with that. Okay, so that's what I want you to investigate. You're playing A minor, pentatonic, and F bluesy 7th. Whatever comes to mind. And that's the really important thing. Don't give up if you think you're running out of options. Always looking for new options is the name of the game as a musician. Doesn't matter how long you've been playing, you always should be keeping an open mind and looking for new ways round. Okay, so that's it for this segment. So if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be great. I'll see you in the next one, and in the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.